I am Eugene from Singapore. I've been doing SEO for a couple of years, and that is why I call myself SEO King. Recently, I started a YouTube channel. Basically, my YouTube channel is IamSEOKing.com. Right, so you can subscribe to my content. I've got a couple of videos up already, and subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you will get the latest information. So now we talk about this topic, and basically it is just the question of what is SEO, right? What is SEO, right? It is quite interesting, this question, and it's not that easy to answer, right? So it's similarly to say, what is football, right? Football is a bunch of 11 guys running around with a ball, kicking a ball. That makes no sense to some girls, but it is a passion. It is a sport. Similarly, search engine optimization is the process in which you ensure that your website is being able to be found in Google, right? So there are certain steps that you do. Basically, the whole process talks about making sure that your navigation is in order. And before you even start SEO, there is such a thing as research. So I had done a video called Sneaky SEO Research Techniques. What has a bookstore got to do with SEO? Do watch it. I'll make the link available so that you will be able to know that there is a research process first. And the research process basically talks about definition of market. What is your broad niche? So for example, your broad niche is ladies fashion. Then what is your sub-niche? Your sub-niche could be ladies' dresses. But what are you actually selling? You are actually selling prom dresses. Prom dresses for girls aged between the 18 and 23. Let's say, for example, you have a fairly young target market. You sell all these prom dresses that are targeted to them, you know, that they have high school prom and things like that. So there is a process. You don't say that you want to rank for dresses, because there's no way that you can rank for dresses. You have to know what is the buying keywords, you know, what are people searching for, right? So after you've gone through the whole process and consideration, and then you set up your site, you make sure that your navigation is in order. You make sure that you have the particular keywords. You know, you have defined a primary keyword. It is the primary keyword that you want to be ranked for. And basically, this is the keyword that people will be searching your business for, right? So after you have defined the primary keyword may not be that easy to rank. So what are the sub-keywords that you can ensure, right? So for example, if you are selling prom dresses in Perth, right? So you might get a domain name that's called Perth Prom Dresses, for example. I'm just giving an example, Perth Prom Dresses, right? And you will be setting up the category as such. For example, maybe a satin dress, satin prom dress, lace prom dress, red prom dresses, black prom dresses, pink prom dresses, things like that. You know, things that really the end user will search for, right? So you want to make sure that in your SEO planning, you want to make sure that you take into consideration what we call the buying keywords. This is very important. So what is SEO? SEO is a process after you have done the consideration and you know what is the buying keywords, how you structure your site. Basically, your navigation has to talk about prom dresses. The whole site has to talk about prom dresses. The analogy is this. Imagine Google stepping into a department store, right? And as you know, when you step into department stores, some stores are better organized, some stores are not, right? So imagine a well-organized store. When you go to the ladies section, you will not see men's stuff. That's what I mean. So for example, if you're talking about prom dresses, you can have a category that is accessories. And accessories will be like scarf and all that. But you don't mix your prom dresses with scarves. That is what I'm trying to say. So mainly when Google comes into this per prom dress, Google must know that two things. One, your site is talking about prom dresses. Number two, you are based in Perth. There must be some way in telling Google. How do you tell Google that you are based in Perth? Very simple. Basically, you will have a Google My Business listing that also links to this website, right? That Google will make the association that you have a physical location in Perth because of your Google My Business listing that is linking to this website. And your website also have a contact us, just have an address there, a Google Map, things. Just check on the legality whether you can use Google Map or you can use some other map software, because there are companies that are being sued by the map company for unauthorized use of map. So you just want to be sure, right? So basically, after Google has known that you are a prom dress company, Google will come into your website and see, are you all about prom dresses? Are you talking all about prom dresses? Are you really serious in your business? Are you really talking about every aspect of prom dresses? Every single type of prom dresses is available in your site. If it is, then Google will make an association that you are the authority in prom dresses, and Google will make sure that you rank better than your competitor. So a quick check is to check how your competitor do it. And if you are in e-commerce space, do check out how some of the Amazon sellers, ensure that their description is customer friendly, right? So SEO in a nutshell is this: how do you make your website discoverable by Google, and how do you ensure that the structure, basically the navigation, the category, and the various article pages and your main pages, your navigation pages are all talking about prom dresses. And if you are able to do that, then you will be for sure ranked as in authority. And another way that you can do is you can make sure you work with influencers in the space of fashion, young girls, influencer that has a strong following, and you probably can give them a free prom dress, and then you can work out something with them to say that after I've given you this free prom dress, any of your followers who want to buy from Perth prom dresses, we will also give you a 10% discount. So every influencer you can track the influencer code, and then you can make sure that which influencers are more effective, and then the next time you work with them again. Basically, what is SEO is what are the things that you can do to make sure that your website is discoverable by Google, and when Google discovers it, your website must be crawlable. Crawlable means you must give Google some signs to let it know what your website is about. So that is what is SEO. So why is it important to rank high in search engine? Right, okay, so before I even attempt to answer that, why is it important, right? Why is it important to rank high in search engine? Before I even answer that, there is something that you need to know. There is this thing called buying keywords. There's such a thing called buying keywords, and there's such a thing as just called normal keywords. Right? So if you are ranking high for buying keywords are keywords that people will search for that almost confirm that there is a buyer intent, right? That is what you mean by buyer's keyword. So for example, if I'm searching for apartments, right? If I'm searching for Perth apartments, right? I'm just generally searching for the apartments in Perth. But if I'm searching for example, Perth apartments near a certain landmark, then there is a strong indication that I have a stronger buyer intent as compared to when I search for Perth apartments. So this is what I mean. Your niche is different, you know. You could be doing accountancy, you could be doing payroll, right? So recently, a prospect came and looked at me and says, you know, I do accountancy, I do payroll, right? I do financial projection for companies. So how do I qualify the prospect is this? So I say, okay, yeah, you do all this stuff. Okay, this is your company. Basically, these are the services that you do, right? So let's focus on the SEO on one of these three services, which are the one that will bring you in the most money. So let's say, for example, then, you know, after we had a discussion, the prospective client said that payroll. Okay, payroll is something that, you know, I will be able to, you know, at least, you know, profit a little bit, slightly more maybe, right? So after the client has indicated this, then I will look into the market research of payroll. I'll work with the client. What do you think people will search for? You know, like maybe payroll management Singapore, or maybe something like payroll outsourcing, payroll supplier is a bad word, right? But you get the drift. So basically, after you have qualified this, you are actually qualifying the so-called the buyer intent keywords. And after you have done the buyer intent keywords, then you can attempt to do the SEO. And why is it important to rank high? One of the things that why you need to rank high in SEO is this, so that you do not need to pay Google AdWords in order to rank for your niche, right? So that's very important, because Google AdWords in certain niche can be quite expensive. Like for example, in the property niche, if you are a property agent marketing various properties, and you know, all you need to do is just, you know, paying Google AdWords, then you will end up with quite a hefty sum. Although outsourcing to a SEO company might have a fixed cost as well, but in the long term, I think your cost will work out, right? So basically, I think that is why you need to rank higher. And fact of the matter is this: if today you decide to start your business, I'm sure my followers, a lot of us are aspiring entrepreneurs, right? A lot of us are aspiring entrepreneurs. We want to start business, right? We feel so inspired. We've got this business idea in this particular niche we want to start, right? But here is the true cold hard fact that nobody tells you. When you want to start, it's good that you have the drive and all that. I really respect people who have the drive. But basically, this is a cold hard fact, is that when you start, you are a nobody to Google. You are basically a nobody to Google. Google do not know that you exist, right? Because your website is not indexed. You just bought the domain name yesterday. How can it be indexed? It's not even having a website. So you know what I mean. So you are up against businesses that have a couple of backlinks. And one of the ways in which businesses have backlinks is normally they have a accompanying Facebook page. They have built their followers over time, and every time they post they create a new article in their website, they post it on their Facebook page, they get traffic. So that is one of the simple backlinks that they have, right? So you're up against this, people, businesses that have been more established than you over the couple of years. Is it possible to outrank them? Well, in my years of experience in SEO consultancy, the short answer is yes. It is able to outrank them. The next question to ask is how long, right? At least 3 months. At least 3 months if you work on the essence of SEO, you are able to outrank them. So why is it important to rank higher in search engine? Is because people, when they search for certain things, they normally don't go beyond the top 5 results, excluding the Google ads, because some people may not look at Google ads. But excluding Google ads, people don't go beyond the top 5, right? So some of the things that I've done for my client is this. I am able to get them multiple Google page 1, which means that they could be ranking on Google page 1 number 3, Google page 1 number 5, and Google page 1 number 7, right? And basically, not only talking about ranking, you need to ensure that you put a customer-friendly meta description tag so that it will appear in the search engine result when people search, and it's very customer-friendly, and most likely people will click on the result. So this is a quick tip. The meta description can be used to make it a little bit more customer-friendly to your customers. So coming back to the example earlier where we said about the perf dress, so you could be, for example, you could have something like pink lacy satin dress, for example, pink lacy satin dress, and you see that this established prom dress seller or prom dress e-commerce site more established than you, but you realize that their description is just like just pink lacy satin dress. But you could say like, this pink lacy satin dress can make you look stunning, can ensure that you are the life of the party, something like that, where any youngster, any youngish girl would want to impress your date or something like that. Impress your date with this pink lacy satin dress. I don't know, I'm not in the niche, I'm just giving an example. So not only being ranked high, when you're able to rank high, are you able to use your meta description to ensure that because ranking high is one factor, but in order for people to, when somebody search pink lacy satin dress, right, perf, right, for example, and your result, for example, able to be on Google page 1, the next thing people will look at is the results and how customer friendly is the description, and which description entices them to click. This is something that no SEO person talks about. So I hope that this tip itself is able to help you, right, to be able to rank higher. And as a recap, make sure that the keywords that you're trying to target is a buying keyword for your niche. If you don't know what's a buying keyword, then you, for example, in this example of the prom dress, you will ask your niece, who is your target market, your 18-year-old niece or your 22-year-old niece, and say that, auntie is trying to set up a prom dress store. What will you search for Google to search for something like that, and you can get her opinion on what are the dresses to sell, what are not the dresses to sell, because she will be the best advice and her friends will be the best advice as in this is a simple way to get market research and feedback as well before you start, right? And this is the most tricky question to answer. What are the top 5 ways in which you can rank quickly on Google? I am very sincere in my sharing. I don't hold back. So you guys are in for a treat because I'm giving you the top 5 tips that you can really implement on your website to get instant result, and you'll be able to rank within, if you're doing this right and you're doing this constantly, you'll be able to rank within 3 months time, right? So I'll fire away. Right, so one of the things that you may not want to hear, the most important thing in which how you can rank in Google is this. Number 1, you can't run away from it. It is research, okay? Number 1 point is research. And when you talk about research, there are 3 areas in which you need to look at before you actually do the keyword research. And the first area is the market, right? Your market research. Do you know your niche? So for example, your niche could be prom dresses, but your sub niche could be you're selling prom dresses to only girls aged between 18 to 22, right? And basically, after you have sort of nailed down your market, your niche and your sub niche, and then you look at competitor research, and competitor research is very important. A lot of companies that when I consult, when I ask them, can I have your top 3 competitors? A lot of them are stunned, right? If you are running your company, whatever you're selling, be it products or services, if you have no freaking idea who are your competitors, then why are you running your business? This is the most common blind spot of most businesses that I consult. They don't even, or they are not even able to name their competitor, and they even tell me, I think it's company ABC. How can you think? You are running the business. You cannot think. Business is crucial. You cannot make the mistake of not knowing your competitors, right? It's that simple, right? So do you know your competitors? What are they doing offline? So if your competitor is a physical store, are you able to go near the physical store? Maybe, get family members if it's awkward, and see for yourself, are they distributing flyers at their store? Is their flyers, having QR code where, people can redeem? So this is a common thing that a lot of businesses don't do. If you are printing flyers, are you able to do for example, a QR code for people to just join your mailing list? So one of the quick ways is, if you're printing flyers, are you able to put a QR code in which people can scan to claim an offer? So basically what you can say is something like, join our free membership to be informed of whatever offers that we have, and as a token of joining our membership, we'll give you 10% of your next purchase. All you need to do is just scan this QR code and put your name and email address, and we will send to you this 10% discount. So what this does is immediate customer acquisition from what we call offline to online, right? How do you engage people in the vicinity of your shop to get into online where you can further engage them? So this is something beyond SEO, but I thought that it is important that I will highlight, right? So the next thing to know is, after you have known your competitor, how strong are they in online, how strong are they offline, the next thing you need to do is your niche research, right? So your niche research Basically, if you're selling things, look at what are the best sellers in Amazon, eBay, or even Etsy. Depends on what you are selling, right? And also you might want to look at the related newspapers, related magazines, and to basically find out what are the news that are related to your niche and how can you capitalize based on the trending news. Are you able to tap on something? Are you able to give an opinion piece so that you become an expert in your niche, right? So you must always be aware of what are the news related to your niche so that you can see whether are there any opportunities that you can come out and comment and position yourself further and solidify your position further as an expert, right? So the next thing we look at is magazines of your niche. If you are in the health niche, always look at the monthly magazines. What are the top news on top, and you will know these are the trending news and whether can you utilize that for your business through an article, through social media, through engaging influencers to tackle this particular trending news or trending topics. Or are you able to sell certain products in that area if you have not sold in that particular area, right? So this gives you some form of market intelligence. Once as part of your niche research, you look at magazines, you look at newspapers. Don't only look at online sources. I think this is a tip, and I've already also had a video on what has a bookstore got to do with SEO. Do check it out. I'll make the link available again. And next thing, after you have done your market niche research, you have done your competitor, knowing what they do online and offline, you've done your niche research, then you proceed on keyword research, and by then you will know, based on the information that you have seen, like for example Amazon, what is the top selling products and all that. After you have known that, you have a better sensing of what is the buying keywords that people will buy, and then you do your niche research. Basically you look at what are the keywords, that you can target based on these buying keywords. What are the long tail keywords? Long tail keywords are variation of the keywords that might not give you that much of a search volume, but it's important as well because people are searching for. You can then go into Google Trends and see what are the trends in the last year or so. Have people been searching for this and all that? So that will give you a better idea and solidify your keyword research, right? Next thing we look at, which is the second point, right? The first point is research, which is very important. The second point is Google able to understand your website? So when Google goes into your website, are they able to understand what it is all about? It is about textual relevancy. When Google look into it, Google look at all your words, all your sentences, whether does it make sense, right? So that is textual relevancy, whether it is relevant. And then Google also look at, in terms of textual relevancy, Google look at how well you SEO optimize, whether do you practice things like keyword stuffing. Keyword stuffing is like whenever you repeat the keywords too many times. So as a rough guide for each page, the keyword that you're optimizing, try to repeat it about 3 times. Make sure that the images that you use contain the keyword. This is one important thing that people doesn't talk about. Image optimization on website, right, is very important. And after that, Google look at contextual relevancy. Basically, in terms of contextual relevancy, Google looks at how your content relate with each other, how you use category to categorize your posts, how you structure your navigation, and whether, it is very important, again, this is something that people don't talk about, whether your page have interlinking with one another. This is very important in terms of SEO. When people talk about backlinks, the common understanding is backlinks means other site link to me. but a strong backlink culture within your site will ensure and will help Google understand that these particular pages are talking in terms of the same context, and Google will understand your contextual relevancy better. Textual relevancy is already being addressed but contextual relevancy is very important and is seldom being talked about. Contextual relevancy looks at how your different pages relate with one another, and that's very important. That is achieved using category and using pages. So for example, a long page, do you want to break it into 3 parts and link all the part 1, part 2, part 3 together using relevant keywords so that Google know that this is a cluster of articles talking about a specific sub-niche within your niche, right? You understand that, right, so far, right? So that is contextual content. Textual content is very straightforward. You know, each page has one keyword, talks about a particular keyword idea. But contextual is the power and how each keywords link together. A strong SEO culture, you must have strong interlinking within your pages. Okay, do take note of this. This is very, very important. That's why I stress it here, right? The next thing you look at is as what we have talked about, the internal backlinking. You know, how strong you are linking with one another in terms of your category. Are you able to break long articles into 3 parts? This whole thing is talking about on-page SEO. On-page SEO basically means what do you do to strengthen your search engine optimization within the page or within the website itself. So now we talk about the next thing, which is point number 3, off-page SEO. Off-page SEO basically talk about backlinks, right? Backlinks, I've got a video on that about backlinks. I've got 3 videos on that. I will make the playlist available. So when you're talking about off-page SEO, basically it's about backlinks. The general rule of thumb is do not go crazy on backlinks. Do not use Fiverr for backlinks or any SEO related or any traffic related. Okay, this can backfire on you because the Fiverr providers can actually backlink you to pornographic websites or to forum signature links, which years ago Google has said that it is not as important as before because people have practiced this in terms of spamming. So Google said, okay, what Google do is all these links that coming from this area, Google puts a Google filter to say that, okay, it's not as important as before. So you can try, you can have 1,000 backlinks, but it doesn't work. You need to use social signals. Google has talked about basically social signals as an important ranking factor. Social signals are things like, for example, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all the prominent social media elements and accounts, right? That being said, do not go crazy sharing on Facebook groups as well, right? So that will also give you a Google filter. Now we come to point number 4. Point number 4 is YouTube and image branding. What I mean, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. A lot of SMEs, a lot of businesses are not on YouTube. Are you able to find a way to be on YouTube? You can start with just a simple image slideshow video of the services that you provide, and eventually you will learn how to do videos. You will get customer testimonials along the way, and you can post it up on your YouTube channel. The next thing to know is image branding. Are you able, basically the images that you have, what you can do is you can use a simple way is you use Photoshop to brand at least your URL there, to make sure that the image name has certain keywords that you want to rank for. You do all this together, and that means basically your image output will be, every image will have your website link and every image name will have the keywords that you're trying to optimize. Once you have done that, you can actually upload into Google Photos, and when people search for that particular keyword, somehow the image will appear, right? So this is one trick that not many people talk about, image branding and uploading on Google Photos. The next thing is the point number 5 is Google My Business and influencer marketing, right? Google My Business is very important. Basically, Google by listing on Google My Business, Google actually associate your business to a particular location. This is very important if you have, like, for example, restaurants that is very location based. People need to know where you are, right? So having a listing in Google My Business is very important, and basically it actually tells Google that your business is in the context of, for example, Perth prom dresses is physically located in Perth, in a particular location near a particular landmark or something. So when people are searching for your business, and Google will recommend it based on that as well. So a lot of people doesn't talk about Google My Business. I think this is very important to have a listing there. And the next thing we talk about is influencer marketing. Are you able to give them something free, like for example the prom dress? Give them a free prom dress and tell them that for your followers who want to buy the prom dress, just because you are influencer, I have to reward you. I give you a 10% for all your followers who want to buy. They get the 10% off. This is your particular influencer code. So if you're working with 10 influencers, then you can track which influencer is more effective, right? Try to work with them in 3 campaigns, because sometimes it's not conclusive of anything, but you can see which are the more genuine one, and you will work with them. I hope that this has been helpful to you. If it's been helpful to you, do also subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get more value in terms of all the digital marketing content that I'll be rolling out. Thank you very much. I'm Eugene Macarius, signing off. Goodbye. And then after that, you make sure the keyword naming has certain keywords. If you are printing flyers, are you able to put a QR code where people can scan when they receive the flyer